the intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Welcome in, Star Trek Fleet Command fans. We're here for patch. New Q Continuum one. Yeah, and hey, as it starts off with quality of life improvements. So this is another month with a lot, but I will tell you this month has a theme of, well, answering player requests and updates and stuff. But we'll go through all those things here with you together. This is my favorite slop content. We're going to read the notes together and I'll go in maybe a little bit more detail that I can. More importantly, hopefully you'll enjoy it. But if not, well, there's nothing wrong with waiting to see how things roll out. It's actually something we push all the time as a theme. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Quality of life improvements, a new smart speed up button. Now, plenty of you are going to go, well, this should have been in the game in the beginning. And you would be right, but it wasn't, and it's here now. And I like this as a feature. This auto speed up is going to calculate the speed ups that you need to actually use, which personally I think is very, very bueno. So we can read about it right here, the basics of how it's going to work. And again, I think this is something that should have been done a while ago. Let me get this out of the way. I feel like it's too close to me. Q-Snap, I told you I'm gonna be doing it a lot. But so, auto speed up is available for building, research, ship repair, ship construction, and away teams. And tapping the auto speed up button calculates the optimal number of speed ups to consume and displays them. The confirmation pop-up, which you can also tell it to never show that again, which I'm sure many of you are going to decide. So this will consume the speed ups without having you do sliders or guesses or spinning or hitting buttons. This lets you just use them. And again, every other game I've played in this vein allows this type of mechanic. So of course we can say, hey, should have been there, but it's here now. And that's kind of the big thing, and I'm happy about that. I like that we're starting off with something that I would actually call better, personal opinion, than the quality of life update we got last month, which was that claim all button that I still am not, I'm not a fan of it. I just don't find a lot of value in it. But if you disagree and you do, or maybe you think this is not as good, well, let me know. Personally, I tend to think the other one was not as good, but that's just, again, opinion. But moving on, improved mission panel. Now, this is still not where I want missions to be, but this is a tremendous improvement, giving you better sorting and categories, as well as showing you where you're at in your path for missions. Now, to my understanding, the actual number of missions you can hold at one time has not changed, but I will try to verify that tomorrow so that we can double check that. And when I mean tomorrow, I mean Wednesday, when you're watching this video. With the initial rollout of the day calm down, they'll try to follow up on that. But giving you an improvement to how missions are displayed, read, and sorted. And then, of course, if you notice here in this picture, there's a drop-down menu, so you can actually collapse them. Again, making it easier to find things. And, of course, you still have the ability to do your archiving, should you choose to do that. Location navigation mechanism improvement. Tapping any deep linked button tied to an undiscovered system will now automatically select the target area. System pop-up will appear without needing to tap the undiscovered system itself, making navigation smoother and more intuitive. Support for the deep linking systems in mission descriptions. We can now deep link systems in mission descriptions. This helps in guiding players more effectively when completing missions, streamlining the mission experience, and reducing confusion where to go next. Short version, the mission, you can go exactly where you need to go immediately, and that's nice. It's accurate. It's better produced, and from what I'm gathering, you're actually going to have a little bit more, hopefully better lore-friendly stories and that kind of stuff. I think y'all will enjoy it, but I don't want to get stuck too much, so let's move on. So we're starting off with big quality of life updates, and of course the independent archives is meant to be that as well. We've gone over that building a little bit already if you've been paying attention to our YouTube channel, but we do have a couple other things to discuss in terms of how it works. So if we go into the building itself, we'll see having to engage too many ships. This is something that we've already read, but the short answer is allowing you to progress through and master ships. And then after you master them, you get a claim all button that lets you get all the goodies from that loop without needing the equivalent currency. Sounds pretty daggum good to me. How long it'll take you to unlock all the loops? Well, there is a time mechanic here because that's how this game and a lot of games operate. And that time mechanic, of course, can be sped up with purchasing if you choose, or you can free to play grind it as you unlock the building. There will be a gift that gives the building currency so that you can start building it. But building information can be built in the Independent Archives key, available as a free bundle, as I just said, starting at Operation 16. So this is content starting with low-level players, which I do like, can be upgraded with the schematics and provides the following buffs. Again, this is something we covered in the preview video already, but still, I think good information. How it works: build the archive, unlock the tracks depending on what ship you want to go after, progress through those tracks, unlock the archive pillars using the archive data shards. Again, this can be something that you get every day at a small amount. You have to make tactical choices of where you invest these. There is also a gift that's going to come out this month if you do your code that gives some more of this code or more of this currency. Gain valuable track-specific and generic buffs that improve efficiency for both the cost and overall grind of that ship we're going after. Master the track by reaching and unlocking the final pier. Merge endpoint bundles tied to the track into one daily claim, accessible in the IA. And then finally, claim my button to collect rewards from multiple tracks with one click. So here you go. Mastering the track disables binding-based store bundles and moves endpoint rewards to the independent archives. So nice, trying to move everything into one spot. Same thing with Vidar, Talios, Voyager, and Monobeam. So here's a message from the devs. These are a neat little thing they've added in. We really want players to give a chance to experience this feature, which is why the Botany Bay will be included not only as a day one gift for all players, but for all players beyond that point. The IA represents step one of our mission to enhance your gaming experience related to older game content. Now, as this launches and we go through our live streams, we'll discuss this in a little bit more detail. Short version, it is truly meant to speed up old loops. How effective it'll be at that, well, we'll just have to wait and see with us participating in it and doing it and, you know, all those normal things. So, yeah, let's continue on. We have chaos technology, which is forbidden tech to a degree, but different. Essentially, consider this an expansion on the forbidden tech mechanic. Now, this is where we get into like the, did we have to do this? There's more currencies, but let's discuss. Chaos tech is a new type of ship equipment, most comparable but functionally and strategically different to forbidden tech. The chaos tech slot can be found unlocked in the ship menu on any ship, just like the forbidden tech slot. Yes, it is an additional slot. They work differently, focusing on niche strategies with strong generalist officer ability type effects. This new tech pushes players to strategize in new ways in both PvE and PvP. Chaos tech components, when used strategically, reinforces existing FTs, which boast stronger general bonuses. Unlike FTs, though, Chaos Tech provides immediate power upon acquisition. Upgraded Chaos Tech equipment does not have a success chance. Every level up or tier up is guaranteed. There's obviously a big feedback from the FTs that was griped about. So, as you can see here, has a very similar path to what you already had with Forbidden Technology. That's not really changing, except it's a separate loop. Again, debate on whether you like that or not. Here are the ones that you're getting early on. You get the Q Cannon, or at least that are here. I'm not saying you're getting them, but you have Epic Q Cannon against players. Each time the opponent scores a crit hit, reduce their base weapons damage by 200%. And stack. Very interested to see how that actually plays out long term. Reduces crit damage by 300% and increases your base weapons damage by 1500%. Very, very curious to see if that can truly zero out things. Temporal Conduit there is another epic. When fighting hostiles or armadas, gain a chance to do hull breach, and then that might save you if you are not in the BLT, or maybe you have limited slots, not needing BLT below decks for some of those runs. Increases the amount of resources you get from destroying Xindi hostiles with any ship by 1200%. I know I talk about the cheese cruise a lot, but dadgum, that's a big amount. And then gain 50,000 apex barrier when fighting Xindi reptiles and aquatics. So essentially, we have the cheese crews that make that loop easier. This is taking that to the extreme. You have the electromagnetic loot. When fighting non-armor hostiles at the start of each round, increases ISO cascade by 10% for 3 rounds. 10,000 apex barrier when fighting Texas, and increase the amount of resource you get from doing Texas by 400%. Very niche, but they said these are meant to be niche. Then Thoughtmaker, which is a common. Oh my goodness, my mind is blown. A common. Anything in 2024 in today's economy? I am flabbergasted, shocked. Oh my gosh. Really? It's a common something. Anyway, let's read about this great common. When fighting non-armada hostiles at the start of each round, increase your apex barrier by 105 rounds. Increase the amount of resources your ship receives from non-armada hostiles by 20%. That last point down there, honestly, I'll take it. I don't care if it's a common. Yeah, those numbers are tiny, but dang it, it's common. I'm happy about that. All right, new hostiles. Yep, you have Continuum Space. We'll talk about that in a devoted video here in a bit. But yep, new hostiles with their own new, all kinds of things, honestly. New different types and all. But we'll read it in a second. To complete core and side missions and battle against challenging new adversaries, you have the assimilated Corin class, Prohibitor class, and Fromoon class ships, with all having their own unique abilities as ships. But engaging with the Continuum Space hostiles in this update, defeating those will gain Chaos modules, exchange Chaos modules to do Continuum Refinery, and then that's going to help you with your Chaos tech. So you do get a new loop this month. Lots of QOL focus, lots of stuff, and a new loop. Because you had to do that. We were doing so well, Scopely, so well through these patch notes, and then loop. But anyway, I'm very curious to see what people think so far. I mean, again, see what they say. Officers, you're getting several flavors of Q, and yes, I will admit it. I like that. I actually do like that. I want every version of Q that exists. I want all the Qs. Give me every Q that you have. I want the Q. Anyway, doesn't mean excited about Q. Here's Epic Starfleet Q, with his Command Mastery, Mon Capitan, on round 1 against players, has a 40% chance to apply morale to your ship for 1 round. Okay? And then officer ability, you hit me on, so from DS9, by the way. Round start, if placed on ship with morale against players commanding an interceptor, increase your apex barrier depending on the level by set amount. Not overwhelmingly strong, but okay. Mariachi Q, officer ability, is on round start. If a placed on ship with morale against players, increases your isolate cascade by a pretty hefty amount if you have them tiered. And then below deck ability giving you, well, more apex barrier. And this one based on burning. Last but not least, French Marshal Q, a rare, as is the Mariachi Q. Officer ability, on round start, placed on ship with morale against players, increase your weapons damage, or I'm sorry, your weapon shots by 50% as a PvP ability. Quite juicy potential there. Imagine having all 3 Qs as a new PvP crew. Below deck ability, always suffering. If player has any state, repairs your ship of hull damage taken in the previous round. Very similar to something like maybe, you know, the new Hue that came out here quite recently. And here is your code that you'll use during the day after it launches. New primes and refits. You have a couple of those. New refit for your favorite outlet slash plug slash angry vacuum ship, the Vindicator. The Gorilla refit. This is going to give you more rolls and Epic Asrad Viel and the Doc Brown officer shards. Okay, that's the thing. New core missions. I'm actually very excited to read the missions this month, focusing on Q Junior. Look, I normally don't do missions, but this month is going to be one of those. And then finally, Battle Pass and cosmetics, and there are a lot of avatars, a lot of cosmetics, including some that I think are adorable, like World War I, II, or World War II Q and Spock Turkey, Turkey Spock giving. Thanks, Spock, thank Turkey, Amok Prime Turkey Spock giving. Whatever that's called, it exists. It either is horrifying you and haunting your dreams, or you desperately want it. I probably am in the latter camp. Lots of frames. If you have noticed, Thanksgiving themes this month, as well as celebrating the 6-year anniversary of Star Trek Fleet Command. Big stuff coming with that. Expect that towards the end of the month. Remember, the anniversary is the 28th of November. Finally, a 6-year anniversary celebration, and then various bug fixes and improvements. Now, this rambling note read has gone on for a while because there's a lot in this month. I do like the focus on quality of life. In fact, if every month was like this, I'd be a pretty happy camper in terms of the focus of this game. Let's hope it continues in that. But as you can see, lots and lots. We'll see what you, the players, think of this. Let me know what you think down below. Live long and plunder. Stay safe out there. Deuces, that's me. More info following throughout the week. And if you have specific questions about this, I'm happy to answer. Other than that, enjoy, Star Trek nerds. Enjoy.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.